We are seeing before our eyes Trump turn into Biden, increasingly not with it mentally, and saying, oh, the economy's actually great. The economy's actually great.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
I want to talk a little bit about Trump and the economy because there's been a lot of news come out about that recently. And he has, he is having to kind of switch between saying, oh, affordability is a real concern and I have to address it, to affordability is a con job. But just to set the stage, let's play this clip from Breaking Points, which is a really great YouTube channel, a news YouTube channel, and they do a little bit of talking about this clip from CNN. Let's play clip one.
And it also shows how out of touch they are really with consumer sentiment, something that we've been flagging here. We used to flag it a lot under the Biden administration. You can do it now too. The University of Michigan survey, brutal for the way that people feel about the economy. B5, let's take a listen.
This is consumer sentiment, the current conditions. Consumer sentiment can be the current conditions or it can be future expectations. We're looking at current conditions. And get this, according to the University of Michigan, we are dealing with the worst ever view of current conditions dating all the way back since 1951. This is record-breaking in the way you don't want to be breaking records. And get this, Kate, it is down 30%. Consumer sentiment of current conditions down 30% from January when Donald Trump took office. But take a look here. Trump's policies have worsened economic conditions in America. Look at this. We're dealing with a super majority here. We're talking about more than 3 in 5 Americans, 61%, who say that Trump's policies have worsened economic conditions in America. How about worsened your own finances? Again, we're dealing with a majority here. 51% of Americans say that Trump's policies have worsened your own finances. This is double trouble for the president of the United States. I decide to look at pure independents, those who don't lean towards either side. And look at this, disapprove of Trump on the economy among pure independents. We're talking about 4 in 5, 79%. I'm laughing because you rarely ever see a number this high. 79% of pure independents disapprove of Trump on the economy. How about this? This is no outlier, Kate. This is no outlier because look at Marquette University, their law school. 76% of pure independents disapprove of Trump on the economy. When you put it all together with the approval ratings, it averages out to a net approval rating on the economy among pure independents of, get this, minus 58 points.
Whew, what a disaster. There's there's barely even words to bring all of that together. So good luck. You're Joe Biden now. That's basically the same numbers that we're racking up in 2021. We covered it here day in and day out. They lost their way. What happened after that? They became laser focused on they became laser focused on a foreign war. They were seen as doing not enough for people who were at home. They seemed like they were out of touch, old, and focusing on the wrong things, and then trying to dominate it on some cultural issues. Shall we all remember how that all played?
Yeah.
For the election?
It's Trump's like napping in the Oval
script
Office.
is written.
And that's exactly what's going on right now. I mean, we are seeing before our eyes Trump turn into Biden in the last 2 years of Biden's presidency. He is, increasingly seems to not be with it mentally, and he is having to, say, oh, well, the economy's actually great. The economy's actually great. Folks like us, we're talking about how there are real underlying problems with the Biden economy, and there are real underlying problems with the Trump economy that Trump is not helping. But he is having to, really going even farther than Biden did, because at least when Biden was, was talking about his economy, he would at least just point to the good numbers and say, look at the good things I'm doing. And just what he did is he just ignored kind of the bad parts of the economy. Trump is just saying people who are saying that there is a problem with the economy are doing a con job. Let's play clip 2.
Turning now to affordability. The White House denying of the affordability campaign of Zohran Mamdani in New York City, saying that it's a bit of a Democratic hoax, but at the very same time acknowledging it's a huge problem actually for them in the elections that are coming forward in 2026. And they've come up with some truly boneheaded plans. But first, let's start with Donald Trump on affordability itself. Is it a problem? Let's take a listen.
Walmart said that the Thanksgiving was 25% more expensive under Biden. That's a big number because Walmart's respected. I mean, Walmart is Walmart, and they're giving you prices. So that would mean that the whole series of pricing and costs, the groceries and everything else, it was a con job. It was a con job. Affordability, they call it, was a con job by the Democrats. The Democrats are good at a few things: cheating on elections and conning people with facts that aren't true.
Affordability was a con job. Trump has become Biden. Like, it literally in the exact, it's like, well, they're lying to you about the numbers, and then they're putting out charts. They're doing everything they possibly can. They're like, well, the stock market is near all-time highs, and everybody's like, yeah, but shit actually still too expensive. Like, it's not that difficult to figure it out.
Hey, 5 seconds. Just wanted to say that this is only possible because of our donors. If you want to see more of this, then consider donating yourself at tvlr.fm/donate. Exactly. Sagar is exactly right. Stuff is too expensive. You can't, this is just completely insane. And I'm seeing that at one point we were muted, so we want to make sure that when the camera comes back to us that our sound is turned on. So not sure how that happened. But, it really is, this is just astounding that... I'm flummoxed by how much like Biden Trump is behaving, because the way that Biden behaved in the run-up to the election is why he lost the election. And the Republicans and Trump really have nobody to blame but themselves. The economy that he inherited was good enough that if he had just coasted like he did last time and did a tax cut and called it a day and said everything was great, his fans would have believed him. Right? I mean, there's so much of this, so much of like how people feel is kind of related to whether or not they like the person in the White House. And so, Republicans would have just said, oh, the economy's great now, because there was enough kind of stability in Biden's economy that if Trump had just said, oh, this economy is great, then a lot of people would have believed him. And that's what happened last time. I mean, people don't like to admit it, but if you look at Trump's first economy from Obama, there is not a single trend line that Trump actually changed. You look at wage growth, you look at job growth, you look at unemployment, you look at the stock market. Everything is just the same trend line as Obama. Because ultimately, in his first term, Trump did not do that much. He did one tax cut, and that was basically it. That was his entire legislative program for his whole presidency, was one tax cut to millionaires and billionaires, and then they called it a day and basically kind of kept everything the same. If they had done that this time, then he would have been able to tell his, fans that everything is great, and a lot of them would have believed him, and he would have been fine. But instead, what he has done has embarked on enacting the ideological project of some of the folks that he surrounds himself with, and everything he has done has made things worse. On tariffs, he has no plan. He has made no deals. Manufacturing jobs are down. Manufacturing jobs are being lost at a rate similar to federal jobs. Speaking of federal jobs, hundreds of thousands of Americans out of work who had previously been dedicated to serving the American people. On worker protections, OSHA is hobbled. The NLRB is hobbled. The Mine Safety and Health Administration is hobbled. The government shutdown the last 1.5 months saw, 6 weeks, 5 weeks of inactivity from the government just so that he can ensure folks' healthcare increases. On immigration, the border has been closed, but there's now chaos inside the country that most people don't like. There is there's a housing shortage, and he's disrupting the construction workforce. I mean, it's wild. And then directly, Trump has reduced the minimum wage for federal contractors, which could cost these lower wage workers anywhere from 25% to 60% in pay cuts. I mean, everything he has done, there is not one thing that the Trump administration has done to actually improve the lives of working people in this country. And so he's got nobody to blame but himself, right? And so he has to put out now even more really bad ideas, like a 50-year mortgage to try to salvage his presidency on economic grounds. But he's not going to be able to do it because a 50-year mortgage is not a good policy. A 50-year mortgage would be really bad. You would save $100 to $200 a month and end up paying $1 million more for your mortgage over the 50 years. I mean, really bad policy. Really, really, really bad. And then we get to the Epstein stuff, and he is just like, you literally could not handle this story in a worse way than the Trump administration is. Let's play clip 3.
Too much. Okay?
Mr. President, what did Jeffrey Epstein mean in his emails when he said you knew about the girls?
I know nothing about that. They would have announced that a long time ago. It's really, what did he mean when he spent all the time with Bill Clinton, with the president of Harvard, who you know, who that is, Summers, Larry Summers, whatever his name is, and all of the other people that he spent time with. Jeffrey Epstein and I had a very bad relationship for many years. But he also saw strength because I was president. So he dictated a couple of memos to himself. Give me a break. You're going to find out what did he know with respect to Bill Clinton, with respect to the head of Harvard, with respect to all of those people that he knew, including J.P. Morgan Chase.
Sir,
Yeah,
if
Jennifer,
there's nothing incriminating in the files,
On Venezuela,
sir,
sir.
why are you acting as if...
Quiet, McGee.
On Venezuela, sir.
If there's nothing incriminating in the files, why not quiet? I mean, what do you do with that, right? And so now you've got all of these people in the media who are having to try to, run cover for him, like Ben Shapiro. Let's play clip 4.
So yesterday, after the House of Representatives reopened, Representative Adelita Grajova of Arizona became the 218th and final signature on the discharge petition. She joined all the other Democrats, as well as 4 Republicans, including 2 who hate President Trump and would like to destroy his presidency. That would be Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene, as well as Lauren Boebert and Nancy Mace.
And so you have to ask the question, why would releasing the Epstein files destroy his presidency? I mean, it's like somebody quote tweeted that on Twitter, and it was like, oh my God, he admitted. Because if you are, it's so crazy. If you are actually dedicated to destroying Trump's presidency, then you would pursue things that you think would be damaging to him. If there is nothing incriminating in the Epstein files, then why would releasing them destroy his presidency? You have to ask, it really does beg the question, or raise the question, why would that destroy his presidency? If there's not anything in there. If there's not anything in there, just release it. And, Trump, in that first clip that I played, is talking about, you need to find out about Bill Clinton. It's like, okay, find out about Bill Clinton. I don't care about any of them. Throw them all, send them all to The Hague for all I care, right? Release the files. You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.